Hey guys, Jen Loves Wrestling here. Hope you're having a great day. Hope everybody is staying happy and healthy and safe and warm. So today's video is going to be about the NXTs. And of course, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the big WWE news of the week from Monday Night Raw. I will get to that at the bottom of the show. But the top of the show of NXT, The Way's Johnny Gargano versus Dexter Loomis. I just want to take a couple minutes to talk about The Way in general as a faction, how it's going, where it's headed. I think it's going wonderfully. I love The Way. I love everything about them. They're so funny. They're so entertaining. They're interesting. They always provide fresh content. It's always just intriguing, and I always look forward to seeing them on my screen. Just the dynamic with this faction is just really, really impressive and really... it just hits, it just works. And now that they've been doing this for a little while now, and we get to see the family dynamic with them, the comedic aspect of it all, just the way they interact with each other, I could not imagine four better people for this role. They all have specific parts to play, and they are all excelling at them. Austin Theory particular, everybody is doing amazing and everybody has their roles and everybody is excelling at their roles and knocking it out of the park. But Austin Theory's kind of had a bumpy road in WWE. If you remember, he debuted in NXT as kind of like this up-and-coming, blue chipper, new hot prospect. He had an amazing build, the good looks. He's young, he's fresh, he's hungry, and... he was kind of presented like Randy Orton was when he debuted, like a young Randy Orton. And it was fine. It was going well. And then they decided to take the faction road with him. And they called him up, and they put him with Zelina Vega's faction. And that seemed like an odd pairing at first, but you know what? In my personal opinion, as the weeks went on, he made it work. He blended to them. I thought it was going okay. I think it ended a little abruptly, in my opinion. I think that was a little too short. I was enjoying his time with them before he got the boot. And then he ended up repackaged again as one of Seth Rollins' disciples when he was the Messiah. And again, that ended. And then he finally struck gold when he was paired with Johnny Gargano in The Way. And this is a home run. This really works. I love it. So I love how it's going for The Way, but right now they are experiencing some issues, some things that we're gonna discuss in the video. That's everything is not going their way. So Johnny Gargano versus Dexter Loomis, that match was not going great for Johnny. And so, at Candice LeRae's urging, Dexter Loomis he's winning the match, but at Candice LeRae's urging, Austin Theory grabs a chair, and he gets up on the apron, and when the time came, he couldn't pull the trigger. He couldn't swing the chair, he couldn't hit Dexter Loomis, and when Dexter turned around, Austin Theory kind of looked remorseful about it. Like, it wasn't my idea, I didn't want to do it. That caused definitely some issues with them. Candice, Austin, and Indy kind of trying to figure out what went wrong on the outside of the ring. Meanwhile, on the inside of the ring, Dexter Loomis is able to capitalize on all of this and pick up the W. And then later in the night, we had an interview segment with The Way. So hopefully we get some answers. We can figure out what was going on. Why couldn't Austin hit Dexter with the chair? What's his mindset? Where is he at? So we learned some very interesting things from this segment. I think the most unexpected thing we learned from this segment was Indy Hartwell has herself a little crush on Dexter Loomis. And Johnny, Daddy Johnny and Candice, Mommy Candice do not approve of their storyline daughter choice of a potential suitor. But that's kids for you nowadays. So then Austin Theory seems to, he was kind of expressing himself in this segment that he feels that Dexter is just, he's misunderstood. People don't understand him, and Austin Theory has a bit of Stockholm Syndrome. So Johnny clearly is not happy with all of this, but he has a solution. He wants and insists on Austin Theory going to therapy. And I'm here for it. I'm all in with this. I like it. It's going to be hilarious. I'm really looking forward to those therapy segments. That's going to be good stuff. Like it always is with The Way. Everything with them, good stuff, solid gold, love it. I'm going to move on with that. Zoe Stark, I want to talk about, versus Io Shirai. Really happy for Zoe Stark here. She looked great in this match. And obviously the match went Io's way, but Zoe has nothing to hang her head about. This was a great opportunity. This was a great match. She looked great in this match. It even seemed at the end Io Shirai showed some respect for her. And this being put in a match of this caliber, this quickly into her signing, really shows WWE believes in her. And they believe that she has potential, and they believe that she has a bright future. And I agree. I see it too. I like Zoe Stark, and that was a great showing. So congratulations to her on that. So Cameron Grimes is he recently came into a whirlwind. He came into a positive financial situation as of late. So he is now doing $1 Million Man gimmick. But he didn't really understand the gimmick fully. He did not watch these videos that he found about the $1 Million Man challenges. He didn't watch them all the way through. So Cameron Grimes getting somebody dribble the basketball, and he just lets him dribble it 10 times, and then he pays him. And it took Cameron Grimes a few times to figure out how to actually win this challenge. But these were really funny segments. They did a few of them. This is really entertaining stuff. Cameron Grimes is always entertaining. This is just a different thing for him to do, and it's funny. It's great. I like it. So then, we seen a few seconds of, about 2 seconds, Marcel was on for like a second, but it's okay, because he was on, and I was happy to see him. But yes, patience will pay off. Marcel's training hard. Big things happening for Marcel in the future. I just know it. I believe in him. But this was Imperium being on NXT. This centered actually around Alexander Wolfe confronting Killian Dane. As of course you guys know, they used to be in the faction called Sanity together. And Wolfe looks at Dane, who is holding and nursing a wounded Drake Maverick from his match earlier, and Alexander Wolfe looks at Killian Dane and says, "What happened to you? You used to be a monster." So that was really interesting stuff. I really enjoyed the kind of intensity and also an awkward moment there in a good way. So that was quite the thing to see, those two together. But we can't talk about all of the good on NXT, and yes, NXT always provides us with more good than bad, but shows are rarely flawless, so I have to address my issue real quickly here. The bad of the night was Santos versus Karrion Kross, which would have been fine, except it was more actual Legado del Fantasma versus Karrion Kross. Since interference was allowed in this match, it was pretty much a glorified 3-on-1 handicap match that Kross still won. And that's unacceptable. And putting aside my personal feelings for Karrion Kross, putting aside anybody's personal feelings for Karrion Kross, personal opinions aside, heel face roles aside, storyline characters, all of that aside, because the end game here, the moral of the story is Kross or anybody should not be winning a 3-on-1 handicap match, especially when one of those other 3 people is a current champion. It buries the other 3. It makes them look terrible. Where does Santos go from here? It makes him look bad. I did not enjoy this. I did not enjoy the logic behind this. Moving right along to close the show, of course, the moment we were all waiting for and dreading, because Adam Cole was going to address what happened between him and Kyle O'Reilly, why he attacked Kyle O'Reilly, everything with the Undisputed Era. He was pretty much, we were going to get an explanation from Adam Cole. And I think it's very fair to say that everybody knew how this was going to go. So if you say, you're going to get the people, of course, that are going to say, oh, I seen this coming a mile away. I believe you. I'm sure you did. We all did. I don't want to say we all did, but yes, it is a tried and true fashion in WWE. This is not our first rodeo. The heel comes out, fakes sympathy, fakes emotion, and builds it up to the point where when the turn, the swerve does come, it's supposed to be that big, oh my God, moment. And you know what? For what it's worth, they did this, they executed this just about as good as they humanly possibly could have. Because I think these guys all came out there and knew, oh, the fans 99% guess how this is going to end. They know the end game. They have a feeling. They know it. They've seen this, we've seen this movie before. We know how it ends. That being said, Adam Cole is an amazing actor. And he really built this up so well. And he still put his heart and soul and sympathy into this. And it was kind of like you could feel we're conditioned to know what's coming, but you didn't want to believe it. So when that low blow finally did happen, it still hurt. You may have seen it coming, but it still hurts. So Adam Cole broke all of our hearts officially to close out NXT. We will move on to NXT UK, which I'm really excited to discuss this show. Big show for NXT UK. One of their biggest in a while, in my opinion. One of my favorites in a while, in my, would be my favorite in my opinion. That's my opinion. But I just say, it's really saying something though, because NXT UK has really been firing on all cylinders since the return. At the beginning of the year after their absence during the pandemic. I don't think this was time wasted though, because they came back on fire. Every show has been stellar. And this show is no exception. And even above and beyond, if that's possible. If you're not watching NXT UK, please get on board, because you're missing great stuff. First match I want to discuss, Ziya, Brookside versus Nina Samuels. And the stipulation here was that the loser has to carry the winner's bags, because Nina Samuel, if you don't watch NXT UK, does this whole starlet kind of gimmick. So she always said that Ziya Brookside should just be carrying her bags. That's all she's good for. Well, it turns out that is not going to be the case, because as Ziya picked up the W in this match, Ziya Brookside will be telling Nina Samuels what to do now. So the next match, Tyler Bate versus Bailey Matthews. So for those of you who don't know, Bailey Matthews is William Regal's son. They did not acknowledge this at all on TV. He looks just like him. He wrestles so much like him. Those European uppercuts are freaking mirror images. He moves like him in the ring. It's actually touching to see. It's amazing. And the thing that I loved so much about this, and this is why this particular episode of NXT UK was so special to me, because we're seeing the future. Not just in one show, but we're seeing the next generation in back-to-back matches. Ziya Brookside, Robbie Brookside's daughter, and now Bailey Matthews, Regal's daughter. Regal's son. It just, oh my God, it's so cool to see the new crop. It's so cool to see this next generation. We got a Brookside, we got baby Brookside, we got baby Regal, right in back-to-back matches. Right in one show, in 1 hour. Guys, what more do you want? That is awesome. You got to check that out if you haven't already. Speaking of the future, speaking of amazing, one of my favorite female wrestlers in the entire world picks up another victory. Ava Valkyrie versus Lana Austin. My only issue with all of this is they've been doing this kind of weird sub-storyline with Valkyrie that she's kind of having confidence issues, which is weird because she's undefeated, and I really don't get how that plays into her character. I just think she needs to keep picking up wins at this point and advance towards that title scene where she deserves to be, because this girl is legit one of the best female wrestlers in the world. So, I don't... Nobody should, I don't see where confidence issues come into play there. Girl, you're friggin' fantastic. Okay, so, main event. I'm so excited because I was hoping anybody would take the titles off of Gala soon, but I am super happy that it happened to be Pretty Deadly, your new NXT UK Tag Team Champions. Pretty Deadly. I love these guys. I've been singing their praises since they were on Progress Wrestling. And I think I've said in my previous videos, these guys are better in the ring than what you guys even all realize. If you watch them in Progress, they are capable of having fantastic matches. Honestly, even better than this main. To me, I've seen them have takeover-worthy matches on Progress. These two are seriously talented. They are not just two pretty faces, although they are two pretty faces, but they are not just two pretty faces. They are awesome. So I love Pretty Deadly, and I'm super happy they're the new tag team champions on that brand. Okay, so let's talk about Raw. We got to talk about the one faction, the one story we got to cover there. You guys already know we got to talk about the Hurt Business. Before we get to the big story, though, so I want to talk about how I got scared early on in the show, because Braun Strowman comes out and does his whole... remember when Braun Strowman used to be a killer? Remember his program with Roman, where he was, tipping over vehicles? You guys remember that? Now he comes out and he acts like a 5-year-old. He is the biggest infant I have ever seen. This sucks. Everything's whining and complaining and bitching, and it's... oh my god, I almost feel like I'm Alexander Wolfe and he's Killian Dane. I'm like, you used to be a monster. I don't know. But anyway, so Shane McMahon comes out and he has Adam Pearce teaming with Braun Strowman versus the tag team champions, which is where my heart attack almost came in, because keep in mind, Braun Strowman won tag team titles before with a 10-year-old. And I was not ready for Shelton and Cedric to lose their titles, especially not now. Even at this point in the show, before the main happened, before what happened, even early on in this point of the show, I will still tell you, the Hurt Business has been firing on all cylinders. They are hot. They are red freaking hot. And they are right there. And this would not have been the time to take the belts off of them, especially to give them to Braun Strowman and Adam Pearce. But this is why I was scared. Because I know how much WWE likes oddball teams. And I know how much WWE likes infighting between tag teams. So I'm like, oh my god, this is so weird. They got a shot at this. They're gonna freaking win. So but they didn't. Thank you. Somebody was watching out on this one, because it was the Hurt Business's night. That was just the beginning. Shelton and Cedric retain, and then we have, after 3 tries of The Miz weaseling out of a title match with Bobby Lashley, who is also, in a weird way, a benefit of this. And I actually thought, because they kept pushing this match back, they were going to push it back to the, Fastlane, the March pay-per-view that's coming up in a few weeks. I figured this was going to main event the next pay-per-view, Miz versus Lashley. That was where my mind was. That was what I thought was going to happen. I'm okay that we didn't have to wait that long, though. I mean, it would have been definitely a pay-per-view main event quality match, and I knew we were getting that title on Lashley one way or another. I just thought it was going to be at the pay-per-view. But after weaseling out repeatedly, finally, Shane McMahon put a stipulation on the last match of the night. So therefore, Miz could not escape. He could not weasel out any more out of this match with Lashley, who also, another benefit for Lashley for this in a weird way, was getting increasingly frustrated and mad. And this is the Lashley that I want to see. The Lashley right now, honestly, in my opinion, best he's ever been. This is the best version of Bobby Lashley I have ever seen. People have been singing his praises for a while. People have been saying, put the title on Lashley. I don't think he was ready before. He needed something to be angry about. He was, mad about losing his title at the last pay-per-view. He was furious with Miz. He had passion. He had aggression. The main problem with Lashley was he was always looked like a killer. He wrestled quite well. He was fine at that. But when he opened his mouth, he wasn't convincing as a promo. And now he has that passion. He has that anger. He has that seriousness. He is right where he needs to be. And he is all of those things. And he is also your new WWE champion. Congratulations, Bobby Lashley. This was the perfect time for it. Congratulations to WWE. This was the right call. Wow, we are going super long in this video. Enjoy NXT tonight, which will be in about 40 minutes. Oh, God, I'm not going to get this video out in time. Hopefully you can watch it in segments, pieces, during commercials, or the next day or something. But, yeah, we got the women's tag title match tonight. We got a lot of good stuff. It's going to be a good NXT tonight. I love you guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, view, share, all that stuff. Have a good night. Love you. Bye.